The concept of young Tibetan women engaging in such practices is a dangerous and disrespectful myth. Spreading this kind of misinformation is harmful and perpetuates harmful stereotypes about Tibetan people and their culture. These myths often originate from a lack of understanding and awareness about the true nature of Tibetan traditions and values. Tibetan culture is rich and diverse, with a deep respect for spiritual practices, community, and family. By perpetuating false narratives, we not only disrespect the individuals involved, but also undermine the integrity of an entire culture. It's crucial to approach such topics with sensitivity and a willingness to learn. Instead of relying on hearsay or sensationalized stories, we should seek out authentic sources and voices from within the Tibetan community. Listening to the experiences and perspectives of Tibetan people can help dispel these harmful myths and foster a more accurate and respectful understanding of their way of life. Moreover, spreading misinformation can have real-world consequences. It can lead to discrimination, social stigma, and even violence against those who are unfairly targeted by these myths. We must be vigilant in questioning the sources of our information and strive to promote truth and respect in all our interactions. In conclusion, the myth about young Tibetan women is not just a harmless story. It is a damaging falsehood that needs to be addressed and corrected. By educating ourselves and others, Tibet has a rich and fascinating culture worthy of respect and understanding. Here are some aspects of Tibetan culture that can be explored in an ethical and respectful way. Tibet is deeply spiritual, with Tibetan Buddhism at its core. Monasteries like the Potala Palace are architectural marvels and spiritual centers. These monasteries are not just places of worship, but also serve as repositories of ancient wisdom and culture. The monks here dedicate their lives to studying sacred texts, meditating, and preserving the teachings of the Buddha. The Potala Palace, once the winter residence of the Dalai Lama, stands as a symbol of Tibetan Buddhism's enduring. Indeed, these sites are not just beautiful, but they also hold immense cultural and religious significance. The intricate murals, statues, and relics found within these monasteries tell stories of a rich spiritual heritage that has been passed down through generations. Visitors from around the world come to Tibet to experience this unique blend of spirituality and history. The serene atmosphere of the monasteries, coupled with the breathtaking landscapes of the Tibetan plateau, offers a profound sense of peace and reflection. The chanting of monks, the scent of incense, and the sight of prayer flags fluttering in the wind create an environment that is both mystical and deeply moving. These elements together make Tibetan Buddhist heritage a treasure trove of spiritual enlightenment and cultural richness. The preservation of these sites is crucial, not only for the Tibetan people, but for the entire world, as they represent a timeless connection to the past and a beacon of hope for the future. Unique arts and crafts. From colorful prayer flags to intricate thangka paintings, Tibetan art reflects their beliefs and connection to nature. These vibrant prayer flags, often seen fluttering in the wind, are not just decorative pieces but hold deep spiritual significance. Each color represents an element, and the flags are believed to spread prayers and blessings with the wind. The intricate thangka paintings, on the other hand, are a form of Buddhist art that depicts deities, mandalas, and scenes from the life of Buddha. These paintings are not just visually stunning, but are also used as teaching tools and meditation aids. Walking through a Tibetan market, one can find a plethora of traditional crafts, each with its own unique story and significance. These art forms not only showcase the incredible skill of Tibetan artisans, but also their deep spiritual connection to their environment. The process of creating a thangka painting, for instance, is a meditative practice that can take months or even years to complete. The artist must follow strict guidelines and use specific materials, such as natural pigments and gold leaf, to ensure the painting's authenticity and spiritual potency. Similarly, the creation of a sand mandala by Tibetan monks is a painstaking process that involves placing millions of grains of colored sand into intricate patterns. This practice symbolizes the impermanence of life, as the mandala is often destroyed shortly after its completion, with the sand being dispersed into a body of water to spread its blessings. Each piece tells a story, weaving together elements of Buddhism, folklore, and daily life into beautiful, meaningful works of art. The themes depicted in Thangka paintings often include the Wheel of Life, which illustrates the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, and the various realms of existence. Folklore and legends are also common subjects, with stories of mythical creatures, heroes, and moral lessons being passed down through generations. The daily life of Tibetan people is another rich source of inspiration, with scenes of farming, herding, and traditional ceremonies being beautifully captured in these artworks. The craftsmanship involved in creating these pieces is truly remarkable, with artisans dedicating their lives to mastering their skills. It's a vivid expression of a culture that holds nature and spirituality at its core. The Tibetan landscape, with its majestic mountains, serene lakes, and vast plains, serves as a constant source of inspiration for these artists. The natural beauty of the region is often reflected in their work, with elements such as flowers, animals, and celestial bodies being commonly featured. The spiritual aspect of Tibetan art is equally important, with many pieces being created as offerings to deities or as aids for meditation and prayer. This deep connection to both nature and spirituality is what makes Tibetan art so unique and captivating, offering a glimpse into the soul of a culture that has managed to preserve its traditions and beliefs despite the challenges it has faced over the centuries. Festivals and celebrations. Tibetan festivals are vibrant and full of life. Losar, the Tibetan New Year, and the Shotan Festival, also known as the Opera Festival, offer glimpses into their rich traditions. Nomadic lifestyle. Many Tibetans live a nomadic lifestyle, herding yaks and sheep across the high-altitude plateau. This traditional way of life is deeply connected to the land. Stunning landscapes. The Tibetan plateau, with its towering mountains and vast plains, offers breathtaking scenery. When learning about or writing about another culture, it's crucial to rely on accurate and respectful information. Sensationalized and false stories only serve to spread harm and misunderstanding.